Jennifer Sanasi, you're watching News 24 Live. Well, this weekend is set to be a huge weekend for all you rugby fans out there. Of course, the Springboks are taking on Argentina right here on South African soil for the Rugby Championships. And, of course, the Currie Cup is still ongoing. We're going into round 2 this weekend. Joining me in studio is Sport 24's chief writer, Rob Howing, and we are going to be talking about all these games. Hello.
Hello, Jen.
Well, I think the big game of the weekend is obviously Springboks taking on Argentina in Pretoria. Why don't you take me through what you kind of expect to happen?
Okay, Jen, well, I've got to say the Springboks will be overwhelming favourites to win. Argentina, as usual in this competition, considered the sort of the weakest link, if you like. And I say that with some respect because they're not a bad side. When the mood grabs them, they can be a very difficult opponent, especially in Argentina. But this game is here. It's the opening round. Last year they got beaten 73-13 by South Africa. That was a little bit of a sort of a lightning strike, if you like. I'm not certain we'll get that kind of scoreline again, but I do think that South Africa are going to be rightly overwhelmingly tipped to win it. I think what's pleasing a lot of South African rugby fans is that the coach Heineke Meyer has picked quite a sort of progressive Springbok side. He's sort of seems to have moved away from certain players who were sort of characterised by the sort of old way that the South Africans used to play, more of a sort of attritional, slow, forward-based sort of game with more of an emphasis on sort of structure and so on, and we're moving away from that, and so somebody like Handré Pollard, the young 20-year-old, getting an opportunity right at the start of the championship to play at fly half, a couple of quite creative selections like Damian Delende making his debut at outside centre. It looks like quite an exciting South African side, potentially one that could score lots of tries, and Meyer has said that that's something that he really wants to put a high premium on this season because, you know, the All Blacks are still the defending champions and they score a lot of tries, and, you know, it doesn't take too much rocket science to work out that, you know, 5-pointers and 7-pointers are worth a lot more than, you know, banging over a few penalties, which has been the sort of South African way in the past. So we're moving to a more sort of fluid style of rugby, and I think we'll see plenty of evidence of that. But you know, South Africa do need to get the business done in this game because if they were to slip on a sort of unexpected banana peel here, they're already in huge trouble in terms of trying to knock the All Blacks off their pedestal, if you like, as the Rugby Championship defending champions.
Now, you mentioned Handré Pollard and a few other of the young guys that we're going to see on the team. Are these the players you're going to be looking out for this weekend? Yes,
absolutely. I suppose it's a lot about sort of combinations. There are going to be some interesting matchups. What Heineke Meyer has generally done is if he's picked a sort of a young rookie player, he's tended to sort of match him up with somebody alongside him who's particularly experienced. So I've mentioned Damian Delende in midfield. He'll be playing alongside the Springbok captain, who's fit again, thank goodness, Jean de Villiers. So that'll really help to settle him down. Pollard is playing alongside Ruan Pienaar. Ruan Pienaar will be the scrum half. Very experienced player. Hasn't always produced his best for South Africa, so under a little bit of pressure to produce a sort of a commanding performance. But he should help to sort of settle any butterflies in Handré Pollard. And then similarly up front in the second row, you've got young Loot de Jager starting in the number 5 jersey. A little bit slightly different terrain for him because he's more of a specialist number 4 lock. But he'll have Bakkies Botha, incredibly experienced World Cup 2007 champion to sort of nurse him through the game. So wherever there's a young player operating, there's always a wise old head nearby. So South Africa look particularly well staffed for this game. I think that even though there are still a couple of players out of action through injury and for various other reasons, it's a very strong Springbok combination. I don't think you'll find too many people betting in favour of the Pumas.
Well, now it comes down to the time where you must give your prediction of the score.
Okay, I'm going to say Springboks by, let's say, 33 points.
All right.
So still pretty emphatic, but just not 73-13 this time.